Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Unencrypted Chatter podcast. I'm Marie, and I'm here today with Prabha. Hi, Prabha.
Hi, Marie. How are you?
I'm really well. How are you doing?
Good, good, very good. Thanks for asking, and thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for making time to connect today. We're really interested in getting to know you. So let's go ahead and get started. Why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself and what you do?
So, I am a problem solver and a technologist by nature, and I am a women leader in cybersecurity here at Verizon, and I represent Business Information Security Organization. So, in summary, my team is constantly fighting the battles from the business perspective, identifying adversaries and protecting Verizon and its customers. And when I'm not doing that, I am practicing meditation and yoga and teaching yoga. I think that's a very important skill to be in cyber.
That's amazing. And as a fellow yogi and a lover of yoga, I think that that's so important, especially for stress relief. Meditation's very, very important. And I think, especially in security, right? It's so important to have a stress relief of some kind, right? Don't you agree?
Absolutely. I think if we look at the stats, people in cybersecurity have one of the highest rate of burnout because especially in threat management, etc. I think it's absolutely necessary that we are able to maintain that balance.
Just on the topic of security, right? So what sort of sparked your interest in cybersecurity? Was there a specific person or an event that influenced you to start a career in cybersecurity?
So I had a technology background. I had worked in bank and pharma and mergers and acquisition, manufacturing until about 11 years ago. I took this position in technology team at Verizon. And at that point, we were looking at a large outsourcing initiative beyond the realms of USA. And that required me really engaging with technology team and security team, and immediately I kind of found areas of interest on how I want to protect data and how I want to protect customers and how I want to protect employees. Not too long into that role, one of the cybersecurity leaders at that time in Verizon wanted me to come and work for her. So it was kind of both my innate interest and my background in technology, plus a leader who could see that interest, motivated me. And she became a mentor. She's still a mentor. And she said that for cybersecurity, skills are one thing and we can always learn, but it is the attitude that you bring to the table. It's important. Plus, um, you are here for opinion. So bring your opinion. And personally and professionally, that made me realize that I do have everything in my pocket and how critical cybersecurity is. And here I am.
That's wonderful. What a great story. And thank goodness for our mentors and our champions. And it's so great to hear that there was another woman in security in your company who saw you and saw your potential and said, hey, I need her on my team. And I think that that's such a wonderful story. I don't know what else to say. I love it. As a woman in cybersecurity, what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced as a woman in the field and how did you overcome them?
So, I mean, I would say externally, there are quite a few factors. Like, there is always a struggle finding right mentor, finding right opportunity. But more than what is external, I feel it is the internal challenges that I faced. So, I was picked up into Women of the World program. It's a Verizon leadership program. And during that, as I worked through variety of women leaders within industry and outside, I understood that as much as it is outside, it's within me, that doubt of cross-checking myself, questioning, not being able to brag about everything I know or doing, and advocating for myself. So I think more than external, those were my internal challenges, and I would say it's a muscle that you practice. So of course, along the way, I have come a long way thanks to, again, all these mentors and leaders that I work with. And then, even most recently, as I were working with a group of senior women leaders, we were talking about how it is a challenge to maintain boundaries. As some of the women, we are by nature givers and we can't say no. And we are constantly working on our boundary bloopers, we call it, where we are not able to hold our boundaries in things we said, and we are kind of negotiating. And we hold ourselves accountable to that. And at the same time, we also pat our backs when we do hold our grounds, and we do push back for a secure, more secure environment, and constantly like lifting that standard above and beyond and keeping up the brand that we work for.
We don't take no for an answer, right?
Nope, that's not an option.
It's not an option. And just listening to you right now, I'm getting like the great sense of community and mentors and some other things you mentioned. And, we're both volunteers with the ISC2 New Jersey chapter, and it certainly changed my life for the better. So I wanted to know, how has volunteering with the ISC2 New Jersey chapter helped you grow professionally or personally?
Oh, it has been tremendous. I can keep on going on that. And it's twofold, I would say. One, as a women leader, it gives me an opportunity to network with brilliant minds in the industry who are in top of their game, building, networks and have those know-hows on what is happening in this industry in BISO function, in CISO function, authoring books on technology. I'm reading one right now by one of the CISOs I met at the IC Square conference. So it limitless on how, where I am having this personal connection at a picnic or an event, I am really developing intelligence that I don't even realize at that point. So that is an incredible resource. And on the other hand, as I am in the SheCon at Kane University every year, I have this opportunity to mentor other young girls and also people who are trying to get into cyber and be a role model. That's such a fulfilling experience when I have people who are in college or we're looking for internship and they are building this connection. They reach out 6 months later and they find success and they're like, I want to be you. That gives me such a great sense of purpose. That is, I don't think I can have enough words to describe that.
Well, Prabha, I just want to say thank you for all that you do for us and for women and for the chapter. And we're just so lucky to have you. I'm lucky to know you and to have this time with you and to chat. And I'm sure we'll see each other at a future event somewhere. I guess we'll just sort of end our conversation on this last question. Okay. This is a good one. If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing or a few things
I
about the
always want more
cybersecurity,
than
and
one.
that's what I said. Maybe we need to give her more than one because it's. I
Yes.
know you. One or a few things that we could change about the cybersecurity industry. What would they be? What would those things be that you would change?
Yeah, I am demanding, but I'll stick with two. So for first one, I do want to tell you a story. So very recently, I was in New York City at a cybersecurity conference, and I always like to encourage other women in the team, and I bring them with me. And all of us notice one commonality. For me, it's almost a decade of attending these conferences, and for some that came with me, it is their first time. It is the line outside of ladies' room. Nowhere else I see a longer line outside of men's room versus ladies' room. And that was something that hasn't changed in years. And if I had a magic wand, that would be one thing I would like to change as soon as possible. I want a way longer line outside of ladies' room for every cybersecurity summit across the nation, across the globe.
I love it. I love it. So what's your second one?
Yes, second one. So second one is more around the accessibility. So I find anybody who is trying to break into the cyber careers, and cybersecurity certifications and training are very important, but at the same time, it could be very expensive. I had to let go of some of my certifications because how many am I going to continue to pay for? And you accumulate over the period of time because you want to constantly learn. If I could, I would like to see more affordable access to these trainings, certification, and maintaining those certification, having those membership, so we can help bridge the gap for women and those who are really new into the industry and really trying to cross. They are trying to cross that bridge coming into other areas, into cybersecurity. And believe me, there is so much talent as I am on the business side and I have most of my team who come in from non-technical environment. These trainings and accessibility, when it is not cost prohibitive, can be a breakthrough. So if I could, that would be another thing I would like to change.
That's wonderful. And I couldn't agree more. I think accessibility to training and education and growing our skill set is so important. And how do you bring more folks in, as you mentioned, into the industry without having proper training for them or opportunities for training and for growth? And even for those who have certifications, how do we maintain? How do we keep growing ourselves, right? I think that's so critical. And I'm so glad you brought that up. It's so important. Thank you so much, Prabha, for being here with me today.
Thank you, Marie. It was a pleasure and having giving me this stage and this opportunity to share my voice. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Unencrypted Chatter. Look to hear more from us soon. Have a great one.